sorted at home. They are conservative when it comes to payment systems. So going cashless may not be welcomed in this country. But of course, Australia is a completely different story. Australia is very different from Austria, and the transition...
Hey, shalom, shalom. Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Bless and salutation to the brothers and to the men pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Alright, Brother Howard, here to the edification to the Spirit of the Lord. You know, this is the year of hopefully all the prophecies coming to pass. You know what I mean? As Apostle Taha rightfully named this year, we've seen prophecies unfolding. Alright, we've seen, a lot of chariot sightings. We've seen so-called natural disasters like floods, like earthquakes, forest fires that was made by man. You see that the BRICS nations, they becoming more powerful, and other countries are being adopted into the union. So we've seen prophecies happening. Right, so with that, let me just bring a precept in the book of Ezekiel. I think it's Ezekiel 33, just to start off with, because prophecies is prophecies. All right. The book of Ezekiel 33 and verse 33, it says, "And when this cometh to pass, lo, and it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them." Right? And what I'm speaking about here, you see on the screen, it says going cashless. Implantable select next. Australia is going cashless. So we know what it's leading to. This topic is based off of the CHIP, which is the mark of the beast according to the scriptures, according to the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark. All right, so let me just pull this back. And this is a very informative page, Lena Pat Rover, This is a very much informative page. I think you brothers should check it out, for your updates on what's going on in the world.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So there are multiple reports that Australia is heading towards a completely cashless society. While this seemed to be something of a distant future just several months ago, or maybe even a conspiracy theory, it is becoming more and more real. Australian government is telling us that it is the reality that all of us should start preparing for now. Before we continue, I want to remind you to join me on YouTube and Rumble, and remember to enable notifications by ringing that little bell button on the right hand side. So Australia is going cashless. Without any proper warning or official announcements, 4 major Australian banks started to limit cash withdrawals across the country. What's even more shocking is that some bank branches even went completely cash-free. Bank customers are having a difficult time withdrawing more than $500.
Why is this happening? It is something that you people should ask yourself. The ones who don't really know, right, or don't have a clue of why the cash getting so limited, right? Yeah, and I know a lot of you people, heard about. I have the app right here. They call it Encash. Right? It's called Encash. right? And just the name behind it, though the name behind it itself don't really represent the function of it, right? Because the function of it is basically is Encash, but the function of it is basically like a normal PayPal, whatever the case might be, you know what I mean? Put money in your wallet, you know, transfer money from one account to the next. But the name, the Encash, right? It's a nomen. It's a nomen, right? Which literally means the Encash. It means we're going in a cashless, we're heading into a cashless society where paper money, digital money will be no more. Alright? These things gonna be extinct. Right? They're gonna done away with. And we're gonna start to use cryptocurrency, and then it go digital currency, cryptocurrency, same thing, and then it gonna lead to the CHIP. Right? The RFID CHIP, right? Which is the MARK of the BEAST, right?
Customers are having a difficult time withdrawing more than $500. It is happening. It is the reality. What would you do if you found yourself in this kind of a situation? Leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. According to the data from the Reserve Bank of Australia, the Australian government took 1 billion worth of banknotes out of circulation. Cash may soon be difficult to get. The number of notes in circulation officially is declining for the first time since dollars and cents were introduced back in 1966. All of this points to an obvious fact, in my opinion. It might be safe to assume that Australian digital dollar may be ready to be launched soon. We will see. But according to the article that was published by BBC recently, the plan to phase out cash within 3 years begins with eliminating $100 notes in the first year and $50 bills in year 2. Then it is about using education and incentives, especially convincing traditional cash users of better options. But here's what's really entertaining, and I think that entertaining is probably the right word to describe this. One of the selling points made by the authorities is that now that there is less cash, criminals will find it harder to go undetected. So therefore, less cash is for your own benefit. You're now better protected, they tell you. A cashless society will only lead to a more honest tax environment, and the biggest losers will be those who rely on cash deals, especially criminals.
And that is exactly what they're gonna bank it on. You see, they have a lot of things to bank this Encash, this cashless society on. Right? Business places wouldn't be robbed again. Right? That is just one. And then it's gonna lead to health-wise. Health-wise is what? You're gonna be able to make you're gonna be able to detect what's wrong inside your body before you even get sick. You're gonna be able to detect a lot of things, right? If your cholesterol low, if your blood sugar low, if you wherever the case might be. And this is how Esau portraying himself as God according to the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4 and down. And I will read it for edification purposes. Right? Because as we always bringing in these videos, we are not ignorant of Satan devices. Right? Let's see. We are not ignorant of Satan devices. the BBE, so that Satan may not get the better of us, for we are not without knowledge of his designs. So we're not ignorant of his designs. We know exactly how Esau, and when we say Esau, we speak about the one who controlling the world today, which is the white man, right? The Europeans, we just call them local white Syrians down here. We are not ignorant of your devices. We are not ignorant of your schemes. And we do this so that we may not be outwit by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his designs. You understand? We're not ignorant of Satan's designs. See if I could compare that with the next scripture to see what cross reference. And there with the first scripture here, Luke 22 and 31, it says 22 and 31. Luke 22 and 31. Simon, Simon, listen, Satan has demanded to sift all of you like wheat, but I have prayed for you that your own faith may not fail, and you, when once you have turned back, strengthen your brothers, boy. Strengthen your brothers, right? And that is exactly what the men of the Lord, beginning with the apostles, doing. They strengthening their brothers, right? Because the apostles, they have a harder task. They are heads of a whole nation. They call shots. Demons go jump on them. That is why we say they rule well. You know? Our next beautiful scripture here, 1 Peter 5 and 8, it says, be sober, be vigilant. Just give me a second here. First Peter 5 and 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, whom resisted steadfast in faith, knowledge, that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. I will compare that. Five and 8, it says, discipline yourself, keep alert, like a roaring lion. Your adversary, the devil, plows around looking for someone to devour. Resist him steadfast in your faith, for you know that your brothers and sisters in all the world are undergoing the same kind of fucking suffering. Hey, this is a beautiful, 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 beautiful translation. That is why the scripture says we ought to speak the same thing. We ought to speak the same thing, bro. That is why we're not with this unity camp shit.
Deals, especially criminals. The Reserve Bank of Australia is now reporting that approximately 1/3 of the population uses cash for less than 20% of their transactions. But not even 4 years ago, back in 2019, almost half of the population considered themselves to be low cash users. Australia's central bank says that it does expect cash transactions to continue their decline in the coming years, and of course, they are doing everything possible to make that happen. Reuters recently published an article related to many other countries around the world considering going cashless. For example, Austria is one of them. Reuters called the idea of enshrining cash in the country's constitution, and this is a direct quote, a far-right idea. Word for word, of them. Reuters called the idea of enshrining cash in the country's constitution, and this is a direct quote, a far-right idea. Word for word, a far-right idea. Did you know that if you prefer to have cash in your wallet, that type of behavior is actually far-right? But according to Reuters, a conservative leader in Austria is calling for the country's constitution to spell out that every single citizen in the country does have the right to use cash. Reuters then says it's, quote, an idea the far-right Freedom Party of Austria had been pushing for years. So in this specific case, which is not uncommon, as all of you know, the media is one of the two parties that oppose such initiatives. It has a clear...
Well, I will stop it. Basically, you can go through the video. But I just want to bring this last scripture here in the NRSV version. Such a beautiful scripture, such a beautiful version. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, it says, also, it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, free and slave, to be marked on the right hand, on the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell who does not have the mark, that is the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? The name of the beast and the number of his name. Who is the name of the beast? Have the mark. Who doesn't have the mark and the name of the beast. So we know the mark of the beast. If you people didn't know, the mark of the beast is the C-hip. C-H-I-P. Alright? And America, the image of the beast, it goes back to the ancient Roman Empire. Alright? The beast system is the ancient Roman Empire. America came back, reincarnated as the Roman Empire. Alright? So with that, I give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Rakakwadash, double honor star apostles of Great Millstone, the GMS that rule well. And as I said, this is the year of the Lord bringing all the prophecies to come to pass. Mawat Babal, Abad Babal, right? To Babylon. Shalom.